We are traveling to Overland Expo Mountain West, which is being held in Loveland, Colorado for the first time in 2021. We're going to go check out some cool gear, and I'm going to do a few walk-arounds of some of the things that I've been wanting to see in person, and I got a chance to see them up close. First up is Dirtbox Gear, which I think is a very cool drawer system coming to the market, mostly for Jeeps right now, but there's more coming. These have integrated battery systems, integrated charging systems, and it looks to be very promising.
So we just need to decide which one of those three fits best in the FJ, and then we'll put it up on the website.
Cool. Will you give me a tour of this, just so when it does come out?
Yeah. So if you want to know a little more about this model, we do storage solutions, but this one here is storage and power.
Okay.
And that has a 170 amp hour lithium iron battery. It's hidden behind the bottom drawer. So, and then in the top portion of it, behind that panel, there's a 2,000 watt inverter, pure sine wave, and then there's a 50 amp DC-DC charger. That 50 amp charger will pull 25 amps off the truck while you're driving. Then when you shut off, it'll disconnect itself so it won't draw off the truck.
Are you using REDARC or are you using?
No, we're not using REDARC. We're using Renogy. Okay. The reason, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but it also does 25 amps of solar. Right? So that's the two that we focused on. We looked at the REDARC Manager 30, and it's a nice product. A little more money, but it also does a 110 input. And
most of these types of trucks, you don't need it.
I don't think so. Personally, myself, I've never been anywhere where I've been camping my Jeep that had a 110 outlet for me to charge. So I figured it just wasn't worth it. So we stuck with the Renogy version of it. And then we also stuck with their inverters. So it's a one-stop shop, right? I can go to Renogy and get everything I need. If you look over here, you can see that inside this, what we've done here, this is just a prototype we were doing for Gladiator to fit under the rear seat. These are the same components. Here's the 2,000 watt inverter, here's the 50 amp DC-DC charger, and then all the panels are over here. What we've done differently for this particular build was instead of using a traditional form factor battery, we went to individual 3.2 volt modules and it hooked them up 4 of them in series.
Cool.
And the reason we did that is, well, we had less space to work with, right? So we needed to be a little more flexible on space.
And you said that's a 50 or 100?
This is 200 amp.
Oh, wow.
It's hard to believe, and that form factor is 200, which is kind of nice, right? And then we have a 200 amp hour BMS right here that we put onto it. Make sure that each module charges itself properly, right? So that's kind of what we're working on now. But then, so we'll go back over here if you want.
Yeah, please.
Then on this side, we have the fridge and stove slide. What we're doing here is this particular module is sized to fit this Dometic CFX 345, as well as the more popular from like Engel and ARB in that same size class, right? Because we're dealing with, behind the JK and JIU rear seat, it's limited on space. That's the biggest we can put in here. And the reason it's a little tall here is we also wanted to support some of the other brands like Smittybilt. They're a little taller and less wide, so we went a little bit taller to support it. So these slides are 500-pound rated lock-in, lock-out slides. We're using 14 gauge stainless steel. We cut this on HD plasma in-house, bend it on our CNC press brake in-house, right? It's raw stainless that we smooth to have this finish. That way it's going to look like that, forever, right? We don't have to worry about the finish coming off. So that's kind of why we wanted to do it that way. And that's why we chose that material for the mount plate. That paper composite, that's what it's going to look like. That, you can scratch it, and you can just sand it smooth again. It's consistent color all the way through. So that's the gist of that. We also do it just plain storage module, right? So instead of having a power option, it's 3 drawers of storage. And we show that in our factory color of white. That's like one of our stock colors. Right. This gray is also one of our stock colors. And as you can see by these models up here, we color match to the vehicle. Cool. Someone would like that. That's actually the mojito green off of the Jeep. So,
right on.
Cool.
Yeah, these are cool.
Awesome. Thanks. Glad you like it.
Yeah, that the footprint of that battery is pretty awesome, man. I just put 200 amp hours of lithium into my camper. And those batteries, I mean, it's a typical size.
It is big, and that's the reason we stuck initially with 170 in here, because Renogy for the longest time has been doing a 170 amp hour battery. That's the same form factor as everybody else's 100.
Yeah.
And as soon as you went to 200, that thing got big, and we just couldn't fit it. But then fast forward, like 9 months later, we're 200 amps in a small space, right? It's unbelievable.
Do you have any sort of dividers in your drawers, or are they just pretty wide open?
They're wide open.
Okay.
You can open it up and see. Close this up a little bit. This drawer here is slightly shorter because of the battery being in there. And then it holds all my gear here. I got it all nice and neat. If you want to see it empty, we can look at the other one.
Oh, no, that's all
right.
right.
And then this one goes full depth.
Right on.
And I keep my pots and pans and some other stuff in here. Interesting, these drawer slides are made by Grass USA out of North Carolina. They're a steel drawer side, and we use a Baltic birch bottom that's got a thermal coating on it. Nice thing is they also sell dividers, right?
Oh, cool.
Right, so we can put dividers in there.
Do you know what the weight is of that whole unit without the fridge?
This unit here is 75.
Really? That's not bad at all.
It's not bad. It's that 14 gauge does bring the weight up, but it's in those slides are pretty heavy. But we only do a lockout on one side, so it makes it a little easier to operate.
Right.
For one, and then two, you can see with the Jake, we got this cutout here. You would run into the lockout.
Right.
So that's why we do see.
If you walk through here, they're
right on, man. Well, thank you for the tour. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Next up, Adrian gives me a tour of the Turtleback trailer. This is the Expedition Series trailer. And as far as rooftop tent style off-road trailers go, in my opinion, this is the coolest one on the market. Very well built, very well thought out, very durable, lightweight, tons of water, tons of features. Fair warning, the music in the background makes the audio in this shot terrible. So if it drives you crazy, skip forward to the next shot. Can you give us a tour of this thing?
Absolutely, man. Where do you want to start?
I guess back here. I've checked these things out online a little bit.
Yeah, so we close them up. So that's how it'll look when it's closed. So obviously you get to camp, stop, drop your corner steadies down, level the trailer out, deploy warning, deploy your tent. Get to the kitchen side. So this opens up. Got a safety catch pin on the back.
So the wind can't move it?
Yep. And this guy opens up. There's another safety catch over here which clicks in. Double lock drawer slides on the bottom. That goes out. Your stove, sink, 2 more storage pantries, and then 2 drop-down tables. They're both stainless, so you can put like hot pots and stuff on top of it. And then of course your 2 pantries.
Oh cool, a little deeper than I thought. Just in videos of it.
And it's all modular, so you can kind of pull these out and set it up how you want it to be.
That's awesome. Are all these drawers just plastic?
It's a composite, it's HDPE,
right,
it's a marine grade type composite.
Yeah.
Super strong. It's a bit heavier than what wood is, but way more durable. And yeah, same as the top one.
30 minutes away.
These 2 are also on a propane safety circuit. So if your stove is running and you open these by accident, or you close your bottom stove by accident, it'll cut the propane to the stove.
Okay. Oh, right. So you can't burn them.
Yeah.
Right on.
Then up top, obviously, you have your table box. These guys open up. You can fit 2 6-foot lifetime tables in there, or camping chairs, extra solar panels.
That's cool.
Whatever you kind of want to do. And then there's a pole storage tube. If you want to put fishing poles, rugs, ski poles, whatever. So yeah, that's basically the back. If you come around to the side, this is basically the control center for everything. So you have a Blue Sea 8-gang switch. This is your master switch for power to everything. And then from there you can run through all your lighting. So you have Sarah lighting, interior, kitchen, turtle lights. There's 3 green LEDs all along the side of the chassis for like ambient lighting at night. Accessory circuit, safety circuit, which is your propane safety circuit, your water pump and your spare. This spare switch will run the rigids in the back. So if you switch those on, your rear lights will go on. Just more storage. This top one's lockable. So if you want to keep valuables safe inside there while you're camping, you can do that. Victron SoC. This is a remote switch for the Xantrax inverter. And then your water heater switch on this side.
Is there one standard electrical system, or are there options?
No, we have many different options. You can run a REDARC, Manager 30.
Okay, cool.
We have more standard type systems that just have like an AGM type battery. This is tailored specifically for a dual AGM. So the other cool thing is on that other side there's a 110 volt outlet in the back, which is run from the inverter. So if you have like a blender or like a coffee maker you want to run, you can run it with the back tailored.
What's the biggest tire size you can fit on?
35s.
Cool.
Yeah, we recommend running 35s. Yep. In the front, got pass-through storage, which is really nice. You have a fridge slide out there. You can run up to like a 72-liter fridge pretty comfortably. Over here, we have molly panels on the side doors, so you can put storage pouches, medical kits, all that kind of stuff.
There's a 42-gallon tank on this?
It's a 42-gallon tank, yeah.
It's a lot of water.
Yeah, plus the 6-gallon tank inside of the pneumatic hot water heater. Yep. Right. So technically, you're sitting about 48 gallons.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of water. Solar capability, usually run about a 90-watt panel. That's about the standard. This particular one has a 170-watt panel on top of the bush container. So plenty of juice on the inside.
Is this a customers with that, or do you guys auction this?
This is a demo. This is
Okay.
a demo trailer. The awning is completely freestanding. It's legs and which is really nice. Had it about 35 mile an hour winds before, and this thing just stood solid.
So yeah.
No guidelines, nothing. It was really cool.
Cool, man.
Yeah, and coming around to the front, obviously if we swing out shower mount, our hose hookup is right in the front box there, right above the nose box. That's really nice if you want to shower. We've got all the windows. Privacy room too if you want to check. This whole thing just folds in and then zip it closed. That's pretty cool. Fold around the side.
Kind of nice being body.
Awesome. Yeah.
And the other side?
Nose box is where the fun part is. You can walk around that side. Yeah, that's where the electronics systems is housed. Running a Victron system with a DC-DC charger, with an MPPT solar, the Xantrax Freedom, 2000 watt inverter I believe, and that breaker switch is what runs in the back. Shore power charging too, so just plug in a 110 volt. If you're having your storage leave in your garage or whatever, just plug it in there, keep the batteries charged up. 200 amp hours of power, so quite a bit of juice inside of that.
I really like these. These are really awesome.
Cool, man.
What's the weight on it?
This one weighs about 2,800 pounds. Obviously 42 gallons of water. So fully loaded, I would say right around 52.
It's really not that bad though for everything you're gaining.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it too, like Jeeps, 4Runners, usually their towing capacity is 3,500 pounds. That's what our biggest.
Just the whole setup of it. You could pack up just about as fast as you could pack up the rooftop tank.
Yeah, especially this setup too with the awning and the hard shell. I mean, you literally just pull that closed, pull the back closed, and it's ready to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the last thing on this side is probably the Snowmaster fridge. So just pull this guy out. About 16 fridge space.
Slide back a little bit. You said 70, so as big as it?
72.
Okay.
The classic 72, which is a dual zone.
Right.
So you can program one side to be a fridge, one side to be a freezer.
There you go. And so the Snowmasters, what you guys generally sell them with?
We generally sell them with. It's up to customer choice.
Right.
We have stock of Snowmaster.
I prefer Snowmaster.
We have guys who run Dometics. I run an ARB. I've had an Engel for 6 years now. I've had a National Luna, so...
Have you had anybody who's hooked up like a diesel heater to it?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
So inside of it is basically what we call it the utility tray.
Yeah.
That's where the cage is around the water tank.
Right.
On top of that, there's a flat space with the water pump and some of the electronics are housed. We had a customer, so that's accessible if you take this front panel off.
Oh,
You can
okay,
mount
you
a
get
diesel
into it.
heater, yeah, inside of there, and actually drilled a hole for the exhaust up top through the skin.
Cool.
And he ran it up into his tank. The other guy that did it mounted it inside his nose box. And he took a diesel rotor patch, I don't know if you've seen this, and he mounted it on his front, and he actually drilled and tapped the hole in the bottom, and used like a 1/4 inch floor line. So his full tank was sitting on the outside and actual wheel was sitting on the
That's
inside.
nice.
So yeah, really
Yeah, that's awesome. Yep, that'd be the way to go, especially living here in Colorado.
yeah. I mean, trying to address that 4-season type camper.
Yeah. Cool, man. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
I did a brief walk around of this trailer because I'd never heard of it before. It's the SniperX trailer and it has some of the best features of my Conqueror at half the cost if you compare new prices. I was told this camper weighs just 1,800 pounds dry, which is about 1,200 pounds less than my camper, which is impressive, and it can also carry another 2,400 pounds on top of that. It has a pantry, a bar, a pop-top roof, and a pull-out kitchen. The awning system I'm not entirely sure about, but without using it personally, I'll reserve judgment. We're talking about you yelling at me.
Yeah, through the window.
Demanding your waffles.
Yeah. Smacks me on the back of the head if they don't come soon enough.
Well, if they're not hot, then they don't melt butter. Yeah, heavy stuff.
Heavies.
Little toilet,
Little toilet set up, little shower set up.
little shower.
It's cool.
It's not covered though. Ours is covered, which is what's so dope about
Mhm.
ours. I love that.
These campers are a unique design. The awning system I'm not entirely sure about because of the way it's built, but without actually using it, I'll have to reserve judgment.
We are changing that on future campers.
Yeah.
So it's a cruise master system, independent each side. You wouldn't have understood what I was saying if I didn't have the hand gestures.
This is the RedTail Overland rooftop tent. It's made out of carbon fiber, completely hard-sided. The walls actually fold out to form its shape. It's complete with a built-in rack system, a battery, and also features a pass-through system so you can climb into it through your sunroof. These tents have a price tag of $19,500. The tent features dual-pane locking windows, locking doors, integrated heat and power, and it's about 9 feet long. This tent is far outpriced for most of us, but it is cool to see the innovation in the overland market. The 2022 Tacoma is looking great with the new color electric lime. Unfortunately, it still only has the payload of a RAV4, and I'm definitely looking forward to the 4th generation now that Toyota has to be more competitive in the mid-size market. Ram Trucks had a demo event, so I had to try the giant, full-sized, all-American Power Wagon. I had a GoPro inside, but the file was corrupt. These trucks are massive compared to what I'm used to, and I immediately found that relying on the giant screen to navigate this small course was pretty limiting to me. You can't really see anything out of the truck. The truck is very capable with a solid front axle, factory winch and lockers. It's just massive where I spend most of my time. I'm never going to say never because a flatbed on this truck and a full camper build would be really cool. I would just be concerned of where I could actually take that truck after it was built. But still, it was fun to drive and pretty impressive.
Sorry.
It's surprisingly long bed.
Next, we browse truck bed solutions. Nothing new here, but this is the first time I've actually gotten to stand in and compare several models side by side. The AT Habitat is impressive for the space and the potential to build out the rest of the truck bed, but I'm a fan of hardtops and a fan of the Alucab. If I decide to get rid of the trailer and build a truck, I think the hardtop AT Summit or the Alucab would be at the top of my list. We checked out the MITS alloy flatbed and canopy systems, and these were so cool to see in person. Integrated drawers and cabinets make these very appealing for a truck build. The utility of a canopy setup just cannot be beat.
Yes, you get a front door as well.
Yeah, I gotta do that. That's very nice, man.
The electric Hummer was on display, and it is massive. I did not expect this vehicle to be so big. This is way out of most people's price range at over $100,000, but certainly cool to see in person. The electric pickup war is just starting, and it's going to be cool to see the innovations that come from some of these companies. And finally, my ultimate overland dream truck. This is the Maltec camper. You can't own a modern 70 series Land Cruiser in the United States, so Maltec has found a way around that. What they do is they take an 80 series frame, which is arguably the best Land Cruiser frame ever built. They put a modern 70 series Land Cruiser on top of it, and they build a custom camper for the back of it. These trucks get the legendary Toyota 1HDT turbo diesel to bring the whole package together. These are assembled in Germany and brought back to the United States for less than what some 4x4 Sprinter vans sell for, and this is far more capable than a Sprinter van will ever be. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to check out my other adventure, off-road, and overland related content.